Alright, we are starting to reach the end already with only 2 parts left, and this part 8 is relatively short. These are the overhauls for animals and creatures, and there are a lot of specific overhauls for animals and creatures, even, you know, stuff like teeth for the giants, skins for giants. But the thing is, I thought if I really want to have it around 100 mods, I only going to cover the skins and textures for creatures and animals, which we will see a lot during gameplay, and all the individual stuff, you know, for individual creatures and monsters, which we rarely see. I had to cut them out because mostly all of these textures are covered anyway already with the larger texture packs, but these more specific textures are really being created with a lot of care, you know, as specifically for that animal or creature. So there are only 6 mods. I would say we open them all up, and let's just quickly install them. So the first one is the Belly Ages Animal and Creatures pack. It only is 1 file. I love that. So download this main file. The Belly Ages HD Dragon Replacer, because dragons we see a lot during the gameplay, of course. Download this one, as well the main file. From skeletons, I think we see relatively a lot of skeletons, so in that case I would suggest you pick skeletons. I would go for either 2K or 4K 2K version, because sometimes these skeletons come in groups, and then it could have some impact on your system, especially if there are like 4 or 5 or something and you pick the 4K version. But it could be that I just picked the 4K version. It depends a little bit on your system as well. Then realistic horse breeds, I would suggest you pick just the main file. Yeah, just only pick the main file. The horse saddle retextures, there's also one single main file. And the Dark Brotherhood horse, the Shadow Mare, there is also this mod. And let's see, you can either pick a gray saddle or a red saddle. Just check out the screenshots to see what you like. So let's quickly install these mods. And that's going to be number 1 from the animals and creatures. So the Belly Ages stuff. Let's see, there is a faux mod. Yeah, so this is the default replacement, but the Belly Ages choice usually looks better, even while it might be a little bit off lore, but it's just, yeah, too good not to install it. Then the HD Dragon Replacer, click on manual, and this is okay like this. Activate this mod. Then we have also the skeleton 4K. I have the 4K, it seems. 4K, even while I recommend not to pick it. But like I said before, I have a relatively high-end system, an i7-9700K, a GTX 1080 Ti, and 16 gigs of DDR4, very fast RAM. So I think I'm fine, but it depends on your system, of course. Okay, so here is the textures which you can pick for your skeletons. Bloody looks cool, I think, even while it's not maybe that lore friendly. So I'm going to pick for bloody, but it depends what you like. So I'm going to install these skeleton retextures. Great. And then what do we have more? The realistic horse breeds. Click manual and I click OK as well. Alright, cool. And the last couple of mods are the horse saddle retextures manual. Set this as your data directory, press OK. And let's see, the last one is this Dark Brotherhood Shadow Mare. It's been packed correctly, and that's it so far for this part. So let's close all the other parts. And that means we're now reaching the end of this tutorial with part 9. And yeah, grab a cup of coffee, grab a drink, because after this you are done. So yeah, when you're ready, I'll see you guys in a bit. It is time for the last part of this 100 mods tutorial, and what we're going to do now is we're going to install the last couple of mods which are either required for the load order. So an example there, enhanced blood textures, realistic water 2 webs. This is needed just for the load order, so that's why I couldn't really include them in any other category, and they have to be loaded after all the other stuff. And also the lights mod, and also of course the EMB, which we're going to yeah, install as the last part. All right, but first of all, we have a couple of mods which we want to download first. So let's open everything up in new tabs so we can start downloading files. Okay, and then we start with enhanced lights and effects. Download the main file first. Download this patch file for random alternate start. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to find out. So download this main file. Then download this unofficial enhanced lights and effects. Enhanced lights and effects static mesh improvement mod FPS patch for special edition. Oh man, what a title. Download the main file there. For webs special edition, download the 2K version here. For realistic water 2, there are actually 2 files, the main file and the EMB textures, because these are really cool. Enhanced blood textures also a fantastic looking mod. The blood textures really look cool. Download the main folder, the main file. Volcanic Tundra Heatwave Effects, download also this one, the single only thing which is available to download. HyperX project is going to be the first time I'm going to install this, so I'm pretty, I hope it's going to work fine. So check, download the main file and download, I think, the 4K textures. Not sure what I did download. Let me check that. I did download just the HyperX project. That's alright. Just leave it like that. And last but not least, we have the weather control, and this allows you to control weather easier, to force weather effects, and that's very handy to check out your game, how it looks. And usually with cloudy weather and bright weathers, there is where the game looks usually the best. But an example, the EMB we're using now also looks great in other weather types like rain, but you will see that after we installed everything. So I would say we're going to install all that stuff right now. That means we can go to the last part. Enhanced lights and effects goes first. And what we want is, let's see, do we want to, no, I don't want the enhancer. It's always a little bit of a, dilemma choice for me, but the enhancer makes it just a little bit too dark, I think. And the enhanced lights and effects for, let's see, do we want that? Yeah, we want it for the, not the weathers. We do have our own weather mod, and we want enhanced ice, and I think we'll leave it like this. That's fine. And this is a mod which makes a huge impact on the game visual wise. It's not very heavy or something, but visually wise it really changes the game, so absolutely need it in order to have the effect which we want. Click next. We have static improvement mod meshes and the lantern as well, and this is all default. Do we want, the flames looks cool. Then click on install for enhanced lights and effects. Alright, and then activated mod. Then next we do have the alternate start patch. I'm not sure if this works because random alternate start now has a different name. Let's see. Okay, it seems to work, and it comes with an ESP. Not sure if it's actually needing a specific master file or something. Nah, apparently not. Okay, we're going to find out if it works. If not, we remove that ESP anyway. Then let's see, we do have this patch for static mesh improvement mod. So okay, that's all right. Let's see, we need to do some things with some mods. This needs to be after the main, but before enhancer hardcore. Okay, so let's check that. In that case, we have the enhanced lights and effects, and we have no enhancer. So in that case, this is fine, and this is also fine, if I'm not mistaken. These don't interfere with each other. All right. And Web Special Edition, I didn't download the Enhanced Lights and Effects patch, it seems. Didn't I do that? Because in that case, we need to still do that, but we can install it afterwards. So download it now, and I'm going to do that now and see you guys in a bit. Alright, so I did download the file, and I named it 04.1. So that's a great thing about Mod Organizer. You can install mods, even while they need to be installed halfway during the load order. So we can now add the patch, click on manual, click on OK, and drag and drop it just, let's see, oh, wait a minute. We still haven't installed the original webs file. So we're going to do that first, click manual, click on OK. All right, and then just drag and drop it here like this, and then we can activate the patch. It doesn't even come with an ESP. It's only meshes. Okay, that's fine. Then the fifth file is Realistic Water 2. I think we have some options here for Realistic Water 2. Yes, we have. Okay, let's see. We want the vanilla resolution, I think. Okay, skip this option to keep the 2K defaults. Okay, this option, let's see. Mod options, optional texture resolutions. This option is not recommended, but is provided for those. Okay, so okay, that's fine. Alternative core textures, original foam, smoother rivers. Nah, it's okay. Click on next. Add-ons, breaking waves looks cool. Extended ambience, sure. Flowing lakes. Lake water will be strong in one direction instead of being made up of slow. It's not recommended and not supported. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and the watercolor. I think that's what we want. This more vibrant. Yeah, we want a watercolor. Then click next. Do we have any of these patches? I don't think so, right? Nope. Okay, click and install. And apparently, I got this from the Nordic guide. We need to hide something here. We need to hide these files. Meshes, effects. Okay, meshes, effects. So that means we need to go double click on Realistic Water 2, file tree, meshes, effects, and we need to hide. Let's see. X Rapid Rocks 01 inf. X Rapid Rocks, FX Rapid Rocks it is, I think. If it's actually here, I don't even see it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I don't see it. I mean, it could be me, but in that case, well, yeah, I'm not going to do anything because, to be honest, I can't really remember I've ever actually done one change to Realistic Water 2. So let me check it again. Meshes, effects, FX Rapid. Meshes, effects, FX Rapids. Here it is. So what is it again? Maybe I can just double click and do it a little bit like this. So, okay, one more time. Meshes, effects, FX Rapids Rock. FX Rapids Rock. 01, is it this one? Yeah, that NIF. Okay, that means we need to hide this one. So click on hide. Then we also have FX Creek Flatlong 01. What a name. Flatlong 01. Right click on it and click on hide. And the last file is FX Creek Flat Large. FX Creek Flat Large. We also need to hide these three files. I don't know why, to be honest, but the author of Nordic Guide strongly suggests to do this. Okay, once we've done that, we can install the enhanced blood textures, I guess, which is this one. Oh no, wait a minute. We want to also install the EMB textures for Realistic Water 2, the 2K textures, and I click on install, and then we can install enhanced blood textures, which is this file. Okay, we don't have immersive creatures, effects, distance, long. We want large splatters, at least that's what I want, but you can pick what you like. I love the large splatter size. And click next, and I do like the default color, but you can also have the brighter colors or the darker colors. And click next, and high-res default color as well. And I'm going to correct the file name, or at least this is actually the original file name, and the numbering is then, what is it? 07, right? Okay, 07. All right, and click on install. Great, so that's everything from enhanced blood textures. Then we have volcanic tundra and high poly project. So let's see if this is all going fine. Volcanic heat haze. Set this as your data directory, press OK. And number 9 is going to be the High Poly project. Great. All right. Let's activate that mod to be sure. Okay, and we also have the weather control center, which is this one. We can install it because this is going to be the last mod we are going to install in this order. So let's see, is this true? Yes. So what we want to do is random alternate start. I'm not sure if this is going to work like this, because it means that the, you know what, let's just uncheck this alt start and then slides and effects add-on, because it might just crash our game, you know. So don't deactivate this mod. And I'm going to check if I'm also able to, uncheck it also here, because I never installed this mod, and I'm afraid it's going to crash our game, because random alternate start needs to be placed at the bottom, and if this file requires random alternate start, it means that it's not going to work. Okay, so we had one file where we need to do something. Can you remember that? Because here is the mark, and we need to overwrite, we need to place this after enhance lights and effects. So let's do that. Enhance lights and effects is here, and that other mod, this one is, let's see, what does it do? It's textures, so it means that the hand card will probably overwrite it with meshes and textures. So it might be that some of these cards are being handled by ours hand card, and maybe the other one is being handled by this mod, but I'm not sure. It might be that this mod has become obsolete, but that's alright, it doesn't matter for our game that much. And that means we've done all the fixes so far as I can remember. What I suggest we're going to do now is run SSE login one more time, and to do this we want to run mod organizer as administrator. So right click and let's see, open file location and run as administrator. And now we can run SSE login one more time without any problems. So click SSE login, and SSE login will now also detect if there are any incorrect load orders in the ESPs, because it's able to do that, and else it just wouldn't generate terrain. So let's wait. As you can see here, the realistic water 2 watercolor requires, so that means once we did install realistic water 2 and we checked the watercolor option, realistic water 2 did install those 2 ESPs, but it just randomly places them in a random order. So as you can see here, we need to place realistic water 2 above watercolor and waves. Now we can run SSE login again as a sort of checker for the ESPs. Okay, this is all good. That means that all the ESPs are in a correct order, so we can check all the boxes again. The settings should still be in unchanged, so that means we can generate terrain. So we're going to wait a couple of seconds in order to make sure the generator will start, and if there are no problems during the way, we will wait another 10 to 15 minutes. So we'll do that right now, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, once you see this message again, you can now close this application like it is explaining at the bottom of the screen of the window. And now we have again, if I'm not mistaken, okay, okay, where is our, let's see, our generated lot files? That's weird. Let's see. So we do have our lot files here. Generated lots priority 53. Well, the thing is, there should not be necessarily any new lots, because we haven't created any new billboards. So what you can do is drag and drop the generated lots folder all the way at the bottom. If that's going to work, yes, because these lots should eventually be the files which are at the very bottom, because these are the lots and they should never be overwritten by anything else. Okay, cool, that's it so far. There's only thing left to do, if I'm not mistaken, and that is the we need to download the EMB, of course, download and install the EMB. So we did now the lot generation, and we're going to, first of all, test your game. So what you want to do now is go to Mod Organizer, go to SKSE64, run the game again, see if you don't have any problems, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, once your Skyrim Special Edition worked fine with no crashes or anything whatsoever, it is now time to go into the ENB section. First of all, what we want to do is download the ENB dev files, and let me just close all the other stuff which we did download earlier. So here, and let's also open up ENB Helper SE, which is, by the way, actually a mod. So yeah, that's a mod. But first of all, you want to go here and download the latest version, which is version 0.390. And the ENB Helper, you can download the main file here. And then we want to download as the last mod, that is, in our case, Omnius ENB, because we have Obsidian Weathers. Unless you went Rebel and you did download Cathedral Weathers, then you have to download Semi-Realist ENB. So we are going for Omnius ENB. So open that up and click on Files. And as you can see here, some very atmospheric screenshots, like I promised you would have. And download the latest version, manual download version 1.3. So let's see. Let's go to our main folder. What you want to do now is create something, a folder named DENB or something. And let's see. Let's open up the binary files. Download, open the wrapper version, and only copy these two files: D3, D11.dll, and D3. Compiler underscore 64, and drag and drop them into your DENB folder, and then you can close this one. Let's double check if it's here. It is here. And now what you want to do is, once you extracted Omnius, once you did download Omnius ENB, you want to open up that archive as well, and then until you come to the main file, you want to go for full quality. So you want to drag and drop everything here in full quality as well in the folder DENB. Alright, and that's not it. We go back until we are at the optional dov strengths. This is for depth of field. I would suggest default dov, but you can see in the screenshots here if you want some stronger depth of field effect, and that's like a focus effect, as you can see here. So yeah, it's up to you what you want, but I would suggest the default depth of field. Also drag and drop this folder then to the ENB folder and replace the files with the new depth of field. And let's see, was that it? I think it is, yeah. And for that, that's fine right now. And let's see, what we want to do now is download the ENB helper. Install the ENB helper. And then also the, let's see. So set this as your data directory, then press OK. And okay, I have to check a little bit what I need to install now. We have Omnius ENB, and this is the ENB. Yeah, so we can't install this with mod organizer. You can drag and drop it and release it underneath generated lots. So generated lots is at the very bottom. And then let's see what we want to do now. The last step in this tutorial actually is, let me close everything. Is this correct? Have we now everything? The last step is to go to the folder DENB, which we did merge all these ENB files. You want to now cut or copy, doesn't really matter. In this case, we're going to copy the files. Then you want to go to your Skyrim Special Edition main game folder. And do you remember the very first part of this tutorial where I said we need to install 2 files in the main game folder? That was Skyrim Script Extender and the ENB. And now it is time to paste those ENB files directly in your main game folder. So right click and paste, or Ctrl V. And now it is time to do one final check. We should have finished everything now, and it is time to do one last check and start the game, and then I'll see you guys in game. Or not, because I just returned from the game. And let me tell you that I did notice the landscape wasn't that pretty as it should be. Also, I would like to point out, if you are going to test your Skyrim Special Edition for the first time after installing everything here and the ENB, it might take up to a minute or two before you actually have the loading screen from Skyrim, and that's because the ENB needs to initialize and maybe also some MCM mods. So don't worry, the first time you're going to start your Skyrim with the ENB, it's going to take long. You might have a black screen for a couple of minutes. Anyway, as I mentioned, I didn't have the great looking landscape and which I usually had. And also I didn't have the wonderful roads which blended roads should give. So it took me quite a long time to find out what went wrong during this process. And it took me a couple of, I shouldn't exaggerate. It took me like an hour or something to find out what went wrong. But here I did create this extra part, which we want to do first maybe before we jump in game. And first of all, we want to go to our mod organizer and we want to search blended roads, and that's priority level 20. Okay, so here it is, blended roads. The thing is, probably it's the load order is like this in your case. So blended roads loads first and then Skyland. You want to drag and drop blended roads under Skyland because Skyland else overrides some of the wonderful roads textures from blended roads. And as you can see here, the only other mod which overrides blended roads is the fluffy snow, but that's okay because it means in the snowy areas fluffy snow overrides the roads textures from blended roads. So that's one fix you want to do. Let's see what we have more. Oh yeah, I really made a very stupid mistake. I forgot to install the actual Skyrim 3D landscapes mod, and I did only install the billboards. As I say here, oops, that's very stupid. I did this probably because I was so much focused on the recording. I completely oversaw the that I missed installing this landscape mod, but I should have put a note at the original video back then. By now, I mean, when I do upload it, that this will be fixed now in this part, and that is actually now at this point. And also, I forgot the patch for 3D plans, so also pretty stupid. I was a little bit distracted at that point, it seems. And I would say let's first install the 3D landscapes mod itself. So let's see where the billboards are, and let's see. We did actually install the landscape texture overhaul for it, and sorry, the ground covers. I mean, we did install the ground covers, but not the actual mod, which we should have, and that's priority level 50. So okay, I'm going to make sure I install that still, and if you haven't done that, make sure you're also going to do this. So we need to go to the, what is it, weather and environment, I think, yeah, and pick 3D landscapes and click manual, set the data directory correctly. Okay, and let's wait a little bit, and then we want to drag and drop this under priority list number 50. And let's see, priority is 50, so it should look like this. As you can see, the billboards we already did generate, so we don't necessarily need to generate billboards again, which is good. And we can activate this mod, but let's see, what we also want is to make sure that this ESP file is loaded directly after Enhanced Vanilla Trees. So Enhanced Vanilla Trees has priority level priority number 16. So in that case, we want to normally you probably have your 3D landscape now loaded at the bottom, but you can drag and drop it here under Enhanced Vanilla Trees, because I just already did test run all these mods, and this is where you should drag and drop it directly under Enhanced Vanilla Trees. So the load order for the mods and the load order for the ESPs are now correct. Then what do we have more? Yeah, the 3D plans cut patch. I seems to forget that. So the 3D plans is here, and as you can see, I forgot number 11. So that means we also need to still add that patch file, and it also comes with an ESP, of course, because it is a patch file. So let's go back to around, was it number 50 or something? So 3D plans here, and activate the mod, and let's see, it comes with an ESP. So let's see where 3D plans is here, and this is priority level 18. So we need to let's see, where is its ESP? 3D plans, yes, cut S3D plans. S3D plants is number 18, and the original 3D plants is, it's the same file name actually, so that means probably that the ESP is now being overwritten. So let me double check that. This belongs to mod, so priority 18. So this belongs to the yes cut. Yeah, okay. In that case, it's good. It's overwriting the original ESP file, so that should be okay. Then we do have, let's see, we have also the 3D rocks mod, because that's just photorealistic rocks, and I think it's really a mod which we should have. So download the main file, and then let's add it once you did download this, and I did actually download this here in my main folder. So Skyrim 3D rocks, click manual, set this as your data directory. And okay, drag and drop this under 3D plants. So that's priority list number 15. So let's see, drag and drop this under, best would be to drag and drop this under 3D plants yes cut. Let me see what I did actually write in here. Under 3D landscapes, actually, okay, that's fine as well, that will work. So we need to drag and drop this under 3D landscapes, and in this case under the billboards from 3D landscapes. So let's see where 3D landscapes is. Skyrim 3D landscapes, not this one. This one, this ESP, yeah, okay. So this is priority number 17. That means we need to drag and drop the ESP under priority number 17. So in that case, like this, as 3D rocks. Let's see. No, let's just drag and drop it under 3D plants. Okay. Yeah, I know it's gets a little bit complicated at the end, but we're almost done, because the only mod now still left is great looking 3D walls. That was also something I was missing for the guard posts and all. And you want to download this mod, Ultimate Stonewall, and it is a link to Mysterious Dawn's mod, which has hidden his files on Nexus mod. So you want to download this mod, and it is from a Ultimate Stonewall, from a Google Drive. It's called Ultimate Stonewall, and it's been packed in actually a couple of options. So what you want to do is you want to actually extract the mod, and then you will have a couple of options here, and I just picked Ultimate Stonewall 4K. So now we can add that mod as well. So go to the extracted folder and pick Ultimate Stonewall 4K. Let's see, and we can drag and drop this. Let's see, let's just maybe rename it, because else we have no idea what this mod was again. So Ultimate Stonewall 4K, and we can drag and drop this after 3D walls. Let's hope I'm able to find it again. 3D rocks. No, let's see. What was that mod again? Let's just drag and drop it all the way at the bottom again. And it is, let's see, after 3D walls. Okay, so where is 3D walls? That's, oh, I actually did already have it left installed. So that's priority list number 60. Okay, so that means you can drag and drop this underneath Skyrim 3D stone walls, and there's no ESP here, so you're safe. And let me just delete this mod, because else I'm going to install it twice, and there's no need to do that. Okay, so now we should be finally ready, and we should have wonderful landscape and of course the wonderful environments, but that's something we already had. So I suggest we now can finally jump into the game. And again, I would like to point out, don't worry, you might have a black screen for 1 or 2 minutes for the first time you're loading your Skyrim SE with an EME. So please take note of that. Don't start to terminate the task or start to exit the program, the game. start it in, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so welcome in game. Welcome to a brand new modded Skyrim Special Edition, the 2019 version. And to give it a little bit away why I knew there was something wrong, I saw it at these road textures, which are now covered by blended roads, luckily. But yeah, I noticed immediately there was something wrong. And I also noticed it by these textures; those were missing as well. So I know these were from Ultimate Stonewall. Another thing I knew, I saw 3D landscapes was missing because I had these horrible ground covers and also these river beds. As you can see here, they now have been fixed by 3D landscapes, so they now look very, very nice. And also these are 3D rocks, so I thought it would be just a pain to miss them. And as you can see, they're just photorealistic textures, photogrammetry. So yeah, that means everything is fixed now regarding the landscapes, and we have a great looking landscape. Also here, as you can see, these Skyrim 3D walls really look cool. I used to have these fences, which looked a little bit like, let me check if I can show you guys that quick, which look like these ones. And yeah, of course they look great, but I think these 3D stone walls just looks a little bit better. So anyway, we are in game. So what I usually do for testing purposes, I type in the open the console, type in TGM forgot mode, T-detect to not be detected, and yeah, you can type in TCL for fly mode, but that's okay for now. Okay, so we do have that mod for weather control, and you can find it in your general inventory. And if you press F on your keyboard, you can favorite it, and then when you press Q, you can open this, and then you can control the weather. And I would strongly suggest you use clear or cloudy weather to test out your weather effects, and then just wait a couple of hours, so like we're going to do now. And then when I also suggest to test various timestamps in the game. So I would, an example, test how it looks at noon, and you can do that by set game hour to 12. Now we have broad daylight, an example, but also if you put it on like 5 o'clock when the sun is going down, you can see the great cool effects of the sun going down. And the opposite way, so like let's say 9 a.m., then the sun would probably rise from the other side, and that's going to be over there. So you can, like I said, test all kind of weathers. An example, also with this EMB and weather mod, light rain looks really cool in my opinion. So let's wait a couple of hours until it forces the light rain effect. Let's wait a little bit longer. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So as you can see, it still looks very atmospheric, and most EMBs and weather mods don't look very atmospheric when using rain, and they only look good either at sunny weather or cloudy weather. But this mod also looks good at light rain, an example, and also heavy rain and snow, stuff like that. Very atmospheric. So we did fix the floating hand cards by placing it after enhanced lights and effects. And if we didn't do that, the funny thing is, if you would run into this card, it would actually float and fly away. So that's a really weird glitch. So let's check out some NPCs. These should be, the lady here should have a changed appearance from Jin. Let's check that. Yep, she has. And what you can do is, an example, type in... let's see, if you scroll down a little bit and you type in TFC, I mean, you can actually go in third person in fly mode, and you're able to fly safely around. Here also, as you can see, the farmhouse, the textures for the walls look really cool. So yeah, that means all of the mods have worked fine and everything looks great. So what to do if you now want to adjust your character, because you probably, like me, did create a just a test character, but you want to see how you can actually change your appearance, change your hair, because that's the most ugly part of vanilla characters. I would suggest going first, having daylight to create your character. So we want to have clear weather, and we want to wait a couple of hours until we have clear weather. Okay, and then set game hour to 12 to have the most brightest weather available, because if we're going to show the race menu now, it will actually show it here, it will actually focus here, so that's why I want to have good light. So what you can do is to adjust your character is type in show race menu, and there you will have the ability to change your character again. So in this case I picked Breathen, and as you can see from a character name I just created a test character, that's all. Yeah, you can adjust many of these presets. In example, there are, if you don't know what to create, you can pick from presets. So if I would pick this, the bald, let's see, maybe this character, I can change the hair from there. With complexion you can change all these settings if you want. So if you want war paint, then yeah, this is pretty much stuff from the original Skyrim. But new things are, in example, let's pick a nice nose type. The eyes, we have the eyes of beauty. So that means we have a lot of new eye colors, I should say, not necessarily eye shapes, but eye colors. We have a lot of them, as you can see. Very cool ones, very creepy ones. Just your preference, what kind of character you would like to create. And then the most, the best looking thing are the hairstyles, and they start from here. So we now have KS Hair Dust, that's the first hair mod, and we have Apache Sky Hair with a lot of add-ons. So it means, as you can see here, we have tons of hairstyles. So in example, if you just want a regular hairstyle, this hair looks so cool, and KS Hair Dust and Apache Sky Hair both have those effects. So let's see if there's something regular haircut which we can pick. Just to, well, yeah, let's just have this one. This looks cool. So also the hair colors, I think these are pretty standard. Not sure if Apache Sky Hair does add any to them. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to name this test character Sept 2019. Okay, great. So as you can see here, if you want to have a closer look on your character, and by the way, I should have, do I have any fancy armor? No, I don't have it. Yeah, so if you now type in TFC, you can check out your character from all kind of angles, create screenshots and stuff like that. You can also crouch here, so you have an overview from a third-person view. And if you type in TFC space 1, the world stops around you. So that means you have, like, the time has stopped, and yeah, in that case you can create an example action screenshots. So if I would grab my weapons, do I have any weapons equipped? Apparently not. Or maybe I can demonstrate it better with a bow and arrow. So let's see if I would shoot this arrow, and now, oh crap, I'm not in third person. Okay, if I now type in TFC1, as you can see here, we can now rotate around this arrow, so you can create screenshots if you want, and that looks cool. And to hide the HUD, you can always type in TM, enter, and then you're able to create some screenshots. So I think that was it so far. Yeah, if you have any custom weapons, and if you want to test out some of the custom armors, you can do that as well. Let me check if I'm able to do that. Go back in TFC. So an example, what do we have? What kind of armors do we have? We have the Dawnguard armor. So what you want to do, if you know the name of the armors, you can type in help and an example Dawnguard. And then you can use page down, page up until you come to the armor stuff. And then you can type in player.add item, and then type in the ID. So in this case, it's 0200550C5, and then space 1 if you want to have 1, but you can also type in 2 if you want to have 2 pieces of that armor set. And the next one was C6, if I'm not mistaken, C7, C8. No, okay, then you can go page up again. So let's see, we want to have the heavy armor, Dawnguard heavy armor, so 02200, F3FA Okay, and this is pure as an example for this armor set. There is, by the way, I saw lately there was a mod available where you could actually spawn armor items from mods. So it was on the Nordic guide, if I'm not mistaken, and I will try to look it up for you guys. But in that time, you can just spawn armor items or craft them, depends what you like, from the mod. So let's see how it looks in these nice Dawnguard stuff. Don't we have the Dawnguard helmets? So as you can see here, the quality of the Dawnguards is really looking good. The Dawnguard armor, I should say. Where's the helmet? Let's just have a finishing touch with the helmet. That is 020050D0. Yeah, here's the Dawnguard full helmet. And yeah, that looks really cool in my opinion. And also, just to point out that the CBBE body conversions are not necessarily needed for female characters. As you can see, it looks great already. So yeah, that's it. If you want to check out various locations, you can also type in TMM space 1 to have all map markers shown, so you can fast travel where you like. And again, just feel free to play with weather types. So there are all kinds of weather types. And if I, for example, want to have light snow, as you can see, it also looks very atmospheric with this weather mod and this EMB. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, yeah, I don't like to e-bag again, but please feel free to, if you like, to leave a donation, because I am not anymore in YouTube's algorithm and I don't make any money anymore. And I still have a website to run and a YouTube channel to run, which doesn't cost anything normally, but I'm spending all of my time with these tutorials, and also I need to actually pay for the website. I would almost forgot, but so yeah, that's the last thing, and I hope you guys liked it, and see you hopefully at one of my next videos. I'm still alive with modding, as you can see, and I'm hoping to create the Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Ultimate Graphics tutorial for 2019. Hope to to finish it this year, I really hope, because I got stuck at that last time. But that's a long story I'm not going to bother you with. Thanks again for watching, and see you at the next video. Take care and bye-bye.